Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 32 of the San Marino Challenge. Now, today's episode is going to be against AS Cittadella. However, the game doesn't matter because, as you can see by the league table, we have indeed won Serie B. Our third league title of the series and our third promotion. We are now going up to Serie A, the promised land, in terms of Italian club football. Now, as you can see, Bologna have gotten promoted behind us in second place. Unfortunately, all the other games were played because our game today had to be rescheduled due to a San Marinese league game playing at the same time, or on the same day, I think. And of course, I think all of the San Marinese teams do use our stadium. So, for that reason, all the other games have been played except for ourselves and, I guess, Parma and Juventus under-23s, for whatever reason. But as you can see, we have beaten Bologna. Before we even played this final league game, we've beaten them by 7 points. Now, if you remember correctly in the previous episode, the gap was down to, I think, about 2 points, due to our really bad run of form that we had, where we had 4 draws and 1 loss in a row. So, yeah, happy days. We've done it. Another thing to mention before I get into the recent fixtures is that our transfer budget for next season is 6.6 million, and we have 81,000 wage budget for next season as well, which is pretty weird. Obviously, it's come through. We are back in the red now, 25,000. And another thing to mention is we're in the middle of a board takeover. So the consortium did come in, and it was a tycoon owner, or a tycoon leader in terms of the consortium. So interesting stuff. We can't make any transfers at the moment, which is really frustrating because there are a couple of good players that have popped up here and there that we've scouted and shortlisted. But unfortunately, we can't do anything about it right now. And, some of those players might be, taken away from us if we don't, or if we're not able to act fast enough. So, a little bit disappointing there. Of course, we'll go over these fixtures here. The previous episode, of course, was the Verona game, in which we won 3-1 away from home. We followed that up with a disappointing 2-0 loss at home to Venezia. As you can see, they opened the scoring in the 17th minute and then got their second in the 57th. Honestly, in this game, we just did not look like we wanted to win. I mean, plain and simple, Ambro got a 7.6. And I mean, that's Ambro. He's the captain of the club, and everyone else was just dreadful, to be honest. However, after that game, we kicked into gear, and we went on a 5-game unbeaten run, winning all 5 games as well. The first of which was away to Parma, who at this point I think were in 4th. As you can see, we opened the scoring through Nicoli. We then went 2-0 up through an own goal from Gelmi. And then they got 1 goal back in the 66th minute. Pretty important win, to be honest. We followed that up with a 4-3 victory over FC Bari at home. As you can see, Forte finally back on the score sheet. It had been quite a few games without him scoring a goal, and he managed to get 2 in this game. Meneghini as well. Actually, I think I want to show you this Meneghini goal. Meneghini. I'm pretty sure it was an absolute rocket in the top corner. I hope it's this goal because I remember him scoring one not too long ago. As you can see, Ngoglia bring the ball forward. I guess it gets switched at some stage soon. Yeah, you can see they sort of bring it out. Yeah, Meneghini just outside the D on the edge of the box. Absolutely bangs it. The other goal scorer was Saki. We then went to Cagliari. Managed to beat them 5-3. Pretty high-scoring affair in this one. As you can see, Forte again on the score sheet, which is nice to see. Considering he scored, like in the first half of the season, he was up to 17 goals, which is, I don't know. It's a bit of a random thing for your winger to be scoring 17 goals during the first half of the season and then sort of go missing in the other half. well, at least up until the end here. The other goal scorers were Nicoli with a brace, Menangini again on the score sheet, as well as Saki. So, consistent goal scorers in these last two games. Very high scoring affairs. 7 goals in that one. 7 goals in the Bari game, and then 8 goals in the Cagliari game. The next fixture was against Pro Vercelli. We managed to beat them 4-0, so very, very convincing in this one. Managed to keep a clean sheet as well, which is something we haven't done for like the last 10 games. More. Might even be more. I think the last one was Pescara, all the way back up here. 4-0 victory. Scarbi, Ambro, Forte, and Toscano on the score sheet for us in this one. And the final game I just played was a 3-1 victory over Palermo away from home. Nicoli, Boschini, and Ambro on the score sheet there. Ambro scoring in the 91st minute, and they got one back in the 93rd minute. So, all over, pretty good results in the last 5 games, 5 wins. We had that one disappointing loss coming straight after last episode. But it is what it is. Anyways, let's get into today's lineup. We're going to go with a bit of a changed lineup because it is a meaningless game in terms of the league. In goals, we're going to go with Ingvarsson. At right back, we're going to go with Diodario. Purely for the fact that it will be his last game for the club. His contract does run out. And he will be, I'm pretty sure he's the last sort of senior San Marinese player at the club. So he'll be leaving. I'm not really that sad to see him go, but I thought we may as well give him this game to sort of say goodbye. The centre-backs are going to be Scarbi and Ingoglia. Mendes will be the left-back. Then in the defensive midfield position, they're going to go with Pellini. Again, contract running out. I've been a big fan of Pellini. He's been at the club, along with Diodario, since the start. And Pellini has actually been, somewhat of a vital player for us over the last, 5 seasons. So he'll get the start. He's not really match fit, but it is what it is. Again, the game doesn't really matter too much. It's more about just, giving him a proper send-off. In the midfield, we're going to go with Boschini on the right wing, Forte on the left wing. Saki and Ambro, as always, will be the 2 centre mids. And up front, due to suspension and injury to both of the loanee strikers we have at the club, Soleri, he'll be starting up front today. Which is good to see because in Series C, he was banging them in for us. As I misclick there. As you can see, he is joining Como, which are a Series D team. Series C team, a Lega Pro team. And we've actually managed to get a little bit of money off them as well. 45,000 up front as well, which is decent. And he'll be going to their team. Hopefully he'll be playing a lot more and scoring a lot more goals. I'd like to see that for him, to be honest. On the bench today, we're going to go Pavoni, Mayembo, Belfasti, Manafo, Gianchecchi, Chester, Kresniki is on the bench. Again, his contract is running out as well. Mercy, Toscano, Cali, Barossi, and Menagini, who did pick up a bit of an injury, I think, in the last game. So he will be also on the bench today. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, realistically, we're a little bit under strength in some positions due to us deciding to give a few of the journeymen, the league divisional journeymen, we'll call them, a game today, their final game for the club. But we do have the highlight here until it's cleared away at the start of the game. Yeah, interesting stuff. AS Cittadella, they're a bit of a mid-table team. Maybe top half, you could say. We do have a throw. Mendes into Forte. Ambro picks the ball up. Diodario, that would have been a perfect moment. If that went in, that would have been a perfect moment. Perfect send-off. Forte's just picked up a yellow card there as well. I don't really want the players to get sent off. That is his 15th yellow card of the season as well, so I'm not sure if he picks up a one-match ban, A one-game ban is the word I'm looking for, or the sentence. When we go up to Serie A, I'm not sure if that carries over or anything like that. But yeah, super happy. We haven't had a shot on target as we go into the half, which is interesting. 10 shots, but none on target. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Serie A. Of course, losing to Roma on penalties this season in the Cup. It really fired me up and made me want to get into that top flight and challenging these guys, because we beat Napoli 3-0, so it was a bit of a dominant performance as well. I definitely think with a few additions, and if we strengthen... Oh, we get the goal there. Soleri! Get in, son. Beautiful. Yeah, like I said, if we get a few somewhat decent players in, we've got a little bit of money now, so we could actually do that. Well, we don't actually have money, but I'm going to buy a few players, I think. Yeah, we could possibly do something. I mean, maybe not first season. Obviously, the first season, I'm just going to focus on avoiding relegation, which I thought was going to be the goal this season. However, yeah, I don't know. We've just absolutely dominated Serie B from the get-go, more or less. And yeah, I mean, it's really good to see, to be honest. The tactic, it's a very good tactic, and I think in some ways it might be a little bit overpowered. But then again, you also look at the recent run of form that we sort of had before the previous episode, where we didn't win in 5 games. It's not that overpowered. And I think if you have the right players playing the right positions with the right attributes for those positions, I think you can be very successful with it. Anyways, back to this game. We're going to make a couple of subs here. Forte will come off. We'll bring Barros. Actually, let's bring Callie on. Why not? He'll probably be leaving the club as well, to be fair. Anyone else? We'll bring Krasniki on right at the end of the game. Belfasti? Yeah, we'll bring Belfasti on as well. And we'll save that last sub there, as Saki picks up a yellow card. So we're going to change that, and then we're going to change this and make him tackle harder. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We're 1-0 up, so, I mean, to be fair, I would love to win this game with some of these divisional journeymen. I think that would be quite a decent sort of send-off and a decent result, going forward. And I've completely forgot to make the substitution there. So Krasniki will literally get about 3 minutes on the pitch. Not even. Probably less. And we still managed to clear the ball away. And there we go. Full time. 1-0 victory. 19 shots with only 2 on target. And we managed to get the win there. Very surprising stuff. But that is like the perfect way for us to send off a lot of these players that have, well, most of them have been with us since Serie D, the 4th tier. We do manage to get 2.24 million in the bank for achieving first position, which is really good to see. And that definitely helps the projection there. The projection's actually shot up, which is awesome to see. Because it was still in a negative over the seasons. We were still making losses, but judging on that, it looks like we're making about 1 million per season now, which is crazy. Just due to that 2.2 million. I'm not sure if interest and stuff like that actually helps it out. But that's a positive for sure. And I think we will hopefully be making profit in Serie A. Realistically, we probably should be selling out the stadium. Another thing worth noting, if I go... What am I doing? I'm completely, falling over my my words. But as you can see, this game against Roma, the quarterfinal of the TIM Cup, that was our highest ever attendance, which I didn't really realise. But yeah, 4,706. I think the previous was against Cesena, which was 4,500 and something. So yeah, we've broken the attendance record as well this season due to our nice little cup run. So let's go into the player stats. We'll do a bit of a end of season review, and then I might show you the youth prospect that we got this season. Unfortunately, not San Marinese. He's just Italian. 4-star potential as well, which is good because, the squad is up to somewhat of a decent standard. So if I'm getting 4-star rated youth players, that can only be a good thing. Anyways, the best player of this season was Menegini with a 7.85 average rating. Of course, picking up an injury. When he was injured, we sort of went through that bad slump of form, along with Ingoglia being out for 3 months or whatever he was out with. But yeah, 7 goals, 6 assists for Menegini. A really good, solid season for him. I think without him, well, I mean, yeah, playing Diadaria was a little bit scary at times. It was very scary at times, actually, because I felt like more often than not, he was at fault for a lot of the goals we were conceding. The second best player, as you would kind of expect, is Danilo Ambro. Club captain currently. 7.73. 13 goals and 17 assists for him. Such an impressive player. He has improved massively since coming to the club as well. He's only 24. Of course, there's a lot of interest in him. Well, there was. Only one club now. But this guy is, yeah, I don't know. He was probably one of the best signings I've made on the series. Interestingly enough, Forte comes in just behind him with a 7.54 average rating. 21 goals. Leading goal scorer as well. I think without him and a lot of the goals he scored, we would probably not have gotten promoted this season. 8 assists as well for him. Probably expect the assists to be a little bit higher than what they are, considering he's a left winger. But again, super happy with that. One of the reasons why we've done so well. Behind him is Loney Nuno Mendes, who got a 7.48 in the left back position. 4 goals, 4 assists for him. Just really solid defensively. Never really got caught out for any goals or never really made any mistakes. He was just a solid player, very good. We might try and get him back on loan for next season, as he's very good. I guess we could even try and buy him, perhaps, if he's not too expensive. But we'll just have to wait and see. Currently on loan from Sporting, so a pretty big Portuguese club. The next 2 players are both of our starting centre-backs. Ingoglia managed to get a 7.30, and Scarby managed to get a 7.29, so almost identical between the two. And interestingly enough, Ingoglia only got 2 goals and 1 assist, and Scarby got 8 goals, despite having a little bit lower average rating over the season. They both actually got 1 assist as well. The next player who I just gave a new contract to is Marco Toscano. Really took over the defensive midfield position this season, sort of keeping Pellini out, and it's probably the reason why Pellini is actually leaving the club. For nostalgia, I'd probably would like to keep Pellini around for the rest of his career, but then again, I sort of feel bad because he was such a good servant in Serie D, really. He was one of the best players we had, so yeah, it's disappointing to see him go, but Toscano gave him a new contract. He got 4 goals, 6 assists, 7.26 average rating for him. Really good stuff. Behind him is Belfasti, who is, of course, leaving. Pretty good average rating for the 4 starts and 4 sub appearances that he got. 7.21. Bashini also got a 7.21 with 12 goals and 5 assists from him coming on the right wing. Cali, sort of same thing in terms of Belfasti. When he was called upon, he put in some really good games and did quite well. Same with Tissetto, coming off the bench a lot. 9 sub appearances for him, 2 goals, 3 assists. Pretty impressive stuff. Worth noting that he actually, my under-20s actually won their league that they were in as well, due to Tissetto and some of the other players a little bit further down. The final player we'll go over here is Hamza Saki. Now, he was brought in first season at the club, not as impressive as I thought he would be, to be honest. I thought, looking at him, he is quite a good player. But disappointingly, only got a 7.09. I say disappointingly, but a 7.09 is nothing to really be ashamed of. 5 goals, 7 assists for him. I just expected a little bit more. And I kind of expected him to sort of be on par with Ambro. And if you consider the 2 average ratings between them, he's not even really close to Ambro's level, if that makes sense. Again, first season in the club, probably can't judge it too much, but it is what it is. Actually, the final player we'll go over is, of course, Ingvarsson. Now, this guy, just looking at him, he's a Serie A quality goalkeeper. And, well, his report says exactly that. As you can see, 4-star current ability, 4-star potential, or possibly 5-star potential. But in his scout reports, it does say could be a leading Serie A player in the future, which is all well and good. He's only, 20 years old? He's not even 20 yet. He's still 19, which is... it's a positive. However, his contract does run out at the end of next season, so we're going to need to get him tied down, and I think that will probably be the most important thing we do. Unfortunately, at the moment, I think due to the takeover, I can't offer him certain contract stipulations that his agent wants and that is locked in, so I have to wait until that goes, and hopefully that'll sort itself out. But yeah, 6.93, not too bad for a goalkeeper. 38 starts for him. Really good stuff. Of course, at the start of the season, he had a lot of issues with partying and going out and missing games and stuff like that. However, if you look at his favoured personnel, AuspiciousAussie is there as the manager. A lot of praising throughout the season. Of course, praising him for his training and stuff like that has allowed me to get on that list. The final thing I'll do is show you the one youth player that we got in this season with a bit of potential. And that... well, actually, that's not him. However, I did sign this guy as well. So Nicola Biordi is a San Marinese centre-back. He's actually got 3.5-star potential. Now, when I signed him, it wasn't 3.5-star. It was like 2.5-star. And I signed him purely for the fact that he was San Marinese. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. But yes, the other player that we did sign... where is he? I think it was this guy. Was it? Yes, it was. So Gregorio Fischetto, a left back, well, sorry, an Italian left back, does not have the dual nationality. Yeah, 3.5-star potential for him too. But looking at it, I mean, his determination's only 4, so yeah, I'm not too sure about him, to be honest. Maybe we can train him as a right back and have him be one of the inverted fullbacks. Again, I don't know. Doesn't really look too good. Honestly, Biordi actually looks the better of the two prospects at the moment. So yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up this episode and, well, this season as well, unless we go into some sort of, extended cup after the season ends. It's happened, the last 2 times we've won promotion. Well, the last 2 times we've been the winners of our groups, or our leagues. But I don't think there is this time. Yeah, I don't think there is. Anyways, end of Season 5. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And apart from that, take it easy.